on here. Okay, back again with another live stream. I'm going to be trying to set up my Ctronics security camera that I got. I went through the manual, basically read through the whole manual in my previous video. This is my first one of these kind of cameras to have. I've done a lot of network streaming with my phones with IP webcam app, and before that I used to do it that's wireless, you know, over Wi-Fi. But before, years since Windows 98 days, I've done used VLC video LAN just do streams and other apps and stuff. So anyway, the cameras are, you know, there's some differences in them, so I wanted to make sure I don't want to get into a bunch of headaches just because I didn't read the instructions. So took a long time to go through them. So anyway, I'm going to actually try to set it up now. And okay, let's get the first. Let me check my sound on my stream. I see I got video up there on my preview. Yep, I got good sound and everything. Okay, so I'm going to move my keyboard out of the way here and get the camera in set up here, get it aimed down on my workbench. Okay, yeah, I've got my little rolling bench here in front of the computer so that I can see the preview, and I also have my endoscope where I can show things up close. But let me see. Thinking if I want to try to put the endoscope, you kind of, well, you know, I can, if I do it right, I can like show things under the endoscope. I can split the screen and do all that stuff. But I do want to have it. Let me see if I put it over here, it might be better. Afraid I'm going to have some trouble. Whoop, that's too far, I think. Yeah, let's go like right here. And now it's in the way of everything, isn't it? It's also in the way of me seeing. Yeah, that cable. Now I'm going to put it back over here where I had it. And I've got the little book that I can use if I need to. Again, it's just hard to see. I have to use the endoscope to read it. But I think it's going to be better if I haven't got the endoscope up. Let me put it on split screen like I was talking about. Where is it? Okay. There, that's the antenna. I'm just using it as a way to aim things. Okay. So, I got a cough drop in my mouth and it's about done. Let me get a drink. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I've got, oh yeah, I was thinking I might do that. This cover needs to come off and put the SD card in there. Oh, and first I got to format it. That's what I'm forgetting. I knew I was forgetting something important. I didn't format it yet because I thought I'd do it, you know, in the video, since that's an important part of doing this. And maybe, you know, if you've never done it before, done any of this before, then you might need some help with that. Okay, let me get I had planned on, okay, so I'm going to use the 32 gigabyte SD card that's in here. Get it out, and might as well just get on the endoscope for right now. And but I was going to use that full size adapter and do it on the Acer laptop, but that's when I was planning on putting an operating system on it. I was actually thinking about putting a different operating system on my Raspberry Pi, but not the camera came today, so that was a whole other thing. I was going to try a web server. I was going to set up a web server on it, but I have that other 4 gigabyte SD card in there with Motion iOS, and I think it may be able to talk to this camera. It might even help set it up. I just want to see. At least you can view it. So I'm putting it in this USB adapter. Thought I would show that because that's one of the handiest things. I hadn't even really, I guess I kind of knew they existed, but when I bought, this is the Strontium, when I bought the Strontium, that was a Wintech SD card that I put in there, and that's why I have to tape it, because it's loose. The Strontiums fit, they don't fall out, but this one will just flat fall out. So the Strontiums, they're in my phones, they stay in my phones, but I have this 32 gigabyte Wintech, they're 64 gigabyte, but it came with, the Strontiums came with this, and also a Strontium branded full-size adapter like that. So let me put this into the computer. Get this, I'll just set that there for now. Let me, got everything all, thought I had everything figured out what I needed to do, and then I didn't. Now that's one of my other cameras being used as through the window, and of course it doesn't make a real good picture through the window screen. But yeah, I'm going to put this in the computer, so I'll just go to the desktop, because the first thing I got to do, it won't work in the camera if it's not formatted properly. And FAT32 is what, let's see, where did I read that? Anyway, well, I didn't see anything about that in these instructions, but I read something last night that, well, it said anything over 64 gigabytes or 64 gigabytes and over. Oh, that was for the Raspberry Pi. It said use FAT32. And so right now it has, what does it have on it? Oh, it has Fedora 29 on it. So I'm going to put, and I have to reformat it. You can't read those partitions. I got to plug it in. Oh, hit my knee on my workbench. My wheels don't work in my chair. They're just worn out. It's like fighting an elephant to get this thing to roll back and forth. Okay, so I don't want to, Fedora 29 Mate desktop. I don't want to do that with it. I just want to open up Gparted. Let's see, I'll go at it this way, I guess. I think it's in System Tools. Oops. Yeah, Gparted. That comes with Fedora now. So this is Fedora 28 that I'm running, but it's been in every version for a while now. So if you don't, it's just easy to install. Just go to the package manager. You can get in Debian or Fedora, whatever you're running. Let's see. You got to put in your root password to use it, and be very, very careful when you use any kind of partition manager, especially on your. That's one reason why I thought about doing it on the Acer, because I couldn't risk messing up my. See, I've got those 2 backup drives. See, those 2 C8s, and I've got. This is my file. This is my DevSDA2. What came up first here? That's my operating system. Let's go ahead and do that so you can. Oh, it didn't help you read that any better. That makes it so wide I can't hardly look at it. So anyway, the drop-down menu there. You can tell by the size. See, 7.28 terabyte. That's the 8 terabyte Seagate. 4.55 terabyte. That's the 5 terabyte They name it that, but it ain't anywhere near what they say they are. And the bigger they are, the more you lose. You notice that? And so 29.83 gigabytes, that is the 32 gigabyte SD card. It's got Fedora on it. Now, this was mounted just now when I plugged it in automatically. So you need to, oh, it's not mounted. I guess because I didn't do anything like, it didn't, automatic. Usually, like if it was FAT32 or something, it would have automatically opened up in the file browser and mounted it. So it didn't mount it, and it's not even activated. Let's see. Let's look at the information first. You don't want it to be mounted or activated, or what's the other word they use? I think that's the wrong word. Anyway, if it says it's busy, then you need to deactivate it. Yeah, I think so. I think that was using the right word. But see, if it was mounted, you would usually you don't get the it won't let you. It'll be grayed out. Like see, all these other things are grayed out. The format too would be grayed out. So I'm going to go with FAT32 because as far as I know, this camera should read it. I did not see anything, and it's really versatile. Most anything will read FAT32. And I saw something last night. I had always known that I can, 64 gigabyte SD cards. Haven't had anything bigger than that. I can format them FAT32, no problems. They'll be read in my phones, even though my phones aren't supposed to read SD cards that big. And anyway, I was reading in the Fedora, the Raspberry Pi about setting up your best file format, file system to use for 64 and bigger. These is only 32, but I thought I'll stick with that. So best ones to use, and it said that if you use Linux to format it, you can use FAT32, no problems. It said if you use Windows, the default Windows formatting tool will not let you format something 64 gigabytes. I think anything bigger than 32 gigabytes to FAT32, it won't let you. It says it doesn't support it. And I've seen that online for years, and I was like, what's wrong with you people, And it's all pretty complicated stuff, so I've studied it over the years on and off, and the things that I use all the time I remember really well, but like the ins and outs of like they say you can't have a file bigger than 3 gigabytes on a FAT32 file system. Well, I do it all the time. My videos are, on my phones. I've made them. I've seen them be 4, 5, 6 gigabytes. I think they do on my computer just fine. Let's see. I can't remember as far as the files. Like maybe it stops. Because I have my camera app. Like if I'm using the camera app on the phone, open camera, and not streaming, then when it gets to the biggest file that the system, default can make, then it will start a new video. So maybe it does only go about right up to 3 gigabytes. But as far as using bigger than 32 gigabyte FAT32 file system, if you use, I didn't know that's why it worked, but if you do it in Linux, and they suggested use gparted, which is my favorite one, then you won't have any problems. So as long as this camera reads it, we'll be fine. If not, then I know I saw one camera, different brand. Somebody asked them what format would be best for my SD card, and they said use NTFS. And that's for everything else. That's the worst one to pick. So I'm going to stick with FAT32. Of course, they were probably figuring they were going to do it in Windows too, but make darn sure you're formatting, you're erasing the whole file system and writing a new file system to it. So make darn sure you're on the right drive. Like me, I've got the hard drive. I've got the main hard drive for the system here. Then I've got the 2 backup drives, and then I've got the 30. This one here that says it's Fedora. Of course, it doesn't say Fedora anymore. It just says the dev STD, the address of it, but the size is different. Pull that down where it can be seen. See, the size is vastly different, so I know I'm on the right one. And I've already set it to FAT32, so I'm going to click the check, You sure you want to do this because editing partitions has the potential to cause loss of data. You are advised to back up your data before proceeding. There's nothing on there I want, and yes, you're going to lose everything on there. That's fine. That's what I want to do. Okay. An error occurred while applying the operations. You want support, then you go to here. Okay. Now, sometimes it says that, and then it ends up being okay. Create new FAT32 file system. Okay. Clear old file system went okay, but it didn't create the new FAT32 file system. It's busy. So what did I not see there? But since it deleted the whole thing, it ain't going to be busy anymore. Now it's just unallocated. Now, it's usually best to be safe to, no wait, if I unplug it, plug it back in, it might not see it. So I'm going to try it again. It was busy. It was activated. I've looked and I didn't see it. Maybe when I look back in the video, I'll see where I missed it. But there's all you have to do is usually you just right click and let's see. Doesn't have it in there. You can't do anything but make new, but it should have the deactivate. Maybe it's I don't know. Has this version lost that ability or something? I don't see the deactivate button there or selection. But there should be a way to. What it is with Fedora partitions, when you plug in, even if they don't mount, like I saw that it wasn't mounted, but when you plug them in, there's two things that a Fedora partition, and I think it's really the LVM that does this, and yes, the LVM, not the ext4 is what's on. It used to be ext2, then 3, now it's 4. So the ext4, that's what the boot partition's on. That is the boot partition. And then the LVM, logical volume management partition, that's where the rest of your operating system is. That will be activated, and it causes this error. So I didn't see a way to deactivate it, but this should still work. No partition table. Broke the partition table. So you're going to have to. Where's the partition? Yeah, create a partition table. This will erase all data. Make sure you're on the right drive. MS-DOS, that's what you want. There's quite a few to choose from, different systems, all Mac, Atari, the game, Amiga, the game, BSD for FreeBSD, and, Sun, used to be Sun Microsystems. Some of the others, I don't even know what they are. Okay, so oddly enough, for Linux, you want the MS-DOS. One on if you have been written, but they have been unable to inform the kernel of, probably because they are in use. As a result, the old partitions will remain in use. This should reboot now before making further changes. Now, we're not going to have to reboot. We just need to reset this. That's what I started to go ahead and take it out and put it back in, and this might not have happened. I'm going to say cancel. I'm going to say ignore. I don't know which one's best, to be honest. Now I'm going to go ahead and reset it. Let's see. I'm afraid of sometimes when you have these kind of things go wrong, when you plug it back in, the system doesn't see it at all, and then you can't format it or anything. I'm going to have to see it. There's no option to add a partition, so I'm going to close gparted. I'm going to right click and eject, and then unplug it, plug it back in. I'm fighting this chair again. Oh, it's really bad. I've got this chair sitting straight up, locked straight up, so that I can be at the workbench, not in the same position I'm usually in. And it's really fighting to move. You don't want to move. So now, see, you don't see that that I plugged it back in, but it didn't show up on the desktop. Now, if I can see it in Gparted, I'm still okay. If I can't, then sometimes you got to fiddle around. Okay, it's there. SDD 29.83 gigabytes. There it is. Okay, so good. You might not have. This might be because it's in the USB adapter. It might be better off in the, to put it in the computer. I don't know. Maybe the newer computers have micro SD, but mine. I have the Acer laptop has a regular SD, and that might have not given you those problems. I don't know. Okay. Oh, now it's got a different kind of menu. But that's I don't know why it did that. Anyway, the default is ext4, but I want FAT32. What else do we have available in case I have any problems with the camera not seeing it? NTFS. XFS, I think it's EXFAT, I think the one that the default that when you buy an SD card these days, they generally come as that. I think it's EXFAT or something like that. It's not XFS down here. I don't want NTFS. I'm going to go with FAT32, and it should be leave the 1 megabyte free space at the beginning. None at the end should be fine. FAT32. Not going to give it a name. Oh, you can't. Sometimes you can name it, but generally I'm writing, ISO images or USB, SD card images to them, and that gives it a name when you do that. So no point. Oh, label. There we go. Give it a label. I'm just going to call it 32 gigabyte just for. Have some so that it makes it easy to identify it. Now, if the system wants to change it, it will. The camera, I don't think it will actually. Okay. All right. Make sure we're on the right one. Okay. Yes, we want to do it. And you can click that little drop down and see the details as they come in of what's going on. So far, so good. You see, that's why I wanted to show this, because last time it worked. And the reason I did that, what started out with my problems was it was activated, and I did not see a way to deactivate it. Maybe Gparted has dropped that. Maybe it's because it's in the SD card adapter. I don't think it's dropped that ability. Manage flags. I don't see anything. Yeah, we don't want none of that. Okay, but we're done. And we could mount it, but let's do that. I'm gonna unplug it, plug it back in. It'll mount and make sure it's not any errors on it. Because we're putting this in a brand new, there it goes. You see, this time it opens up. Now, there's no files on it, but that's a FAT32 file system. And I just gave it that, So, now you could check the, the information on it and stuff, but I'm just going to, you could check its health and all that, but I just did it. So, and it's a good card, so I'm just going to eject it. Now, if I was writing, when I write, like SD card images on here, it sometimes, depending on, I guess, how it's made or whatever, it can actually give you trouble to, if you're planning on using it in a device that's, wants an SD card, then you might get into trouble with it. Your operating system will give out errors and stuff. It'll boot usually, but well, it might hang on boot or it might just give out errors. This little adapter is about worn out. It's broken. Show you this thing. Where's the USB? Here we go. I've got tape on it to try to hold it together. See, on that end, it's broken completely out. Get that off of there now. It is not helping. I'm having. It was really, resisting going into the computer. Last thing you want is that tape to get loose inside your USB. This USB connector in there. But the reason I did it is because with it broken like that, it still works. But if you put it in upside down, it'll let you shove it in there, and I'm afraid I'll short out my USB connector and either burn up my card, or worse, mess up my something in my computer. Put out some magic smoke. So definitely wouldn't want that. But when I was buying, I ordered 128 gigabyte that I may want to end up putting in the camera. We'll see, but it hadn't got here yet. And when I was looking, I thought, well, I'll get another. I want to get one that comes with one of these. Well, they cost $22 to $25, and I paid $12 something for the one I got. So I didn't do that. So now I think I will. Yeah, I didn't download the quick start guide because, well, I have one in the little book, but it's really hard to look at. So I think I will do that because then I can show it. So I wasn't under the camera. So I took this out. And the tape, like I said a while ago, is to keep it from falling out. And let's just leave it right there for now. I'm going, I'm afraid I'll lose it. Yeah, that's a good place for it, I think. I'll put it back up there because I still need to put the camera over there. Okay, I'm going to get on the desktop again because I think I'm going to download the quick start guide and check the sound. Yeah, I'm going to check the sound, and here's where the instructions that I'm going to follow. I think I'm going to try going in the Firefox browser. They say use Internet Explorer, but of course, only way I can even try to use Internet Explorer, and it'd be an old version, is my Windows XP machine, virtual machine, and I don't want to do that unless I have to. I've got that software that I don't even. It didn't say what it ran on. I don't know if it run on. It might run on XP, or it might probably just 7 and up though. 7 Up. It's probably just 7 Up. Okay, so I used to drink 7 Up when I was. I never liked it, but I drink it when I had a stomachache, and it would help. My mom taught me that. Haven't done that in many years, though. Now I take Imatrol. That's the best stuff ever. If you really got an upset stomach, and if you're nauseous, that's for nausea is what it's for. Imatrol. It's red, and it tastes like cherries. It's really, really sweet. And it'll make you go to sleep, too. It does me. And that's the best thing, Just forget about it. I'll go to sleep and forget about it all. Okay. Search tool. We might need that, but they're all Windows apps, so. Yeah, the apps I don't want to mess with unless I have to. I'm going to try to use the browser, and maybe, I don't know if you can do any setup, but you should be able to view it in Motion iOS. And in a little bit, I'll boot up the Raspberry Pi and see if we could see it in Motion iOS once we get it up and running. Okay, CT, yeah, let me see. Quick Start Guide, ITES. So ES is probably, I think I remember now. Some of the Chinese people don't know that English is EN, so they put ES. I think that's it. And this is made in China. I saw it on. See, there's some Chinese letters right there. So it's, some of these electronics are made in Indonesia and some other places, but I think the biggest majority is made in China. Okay, so yeah. The Quick Start Guide, I thought I saw it in the book. I think this is what I'm going to be looking at. I thought, well, you'll be able to. I'm saving the link before I download it. Let's see. Okay. Oh yeah, I still wanna scan that link and make sure there ain't no dirty PDF in there. Scan selected link. Okay. Before I open it, I'll look at the scan results. Okay, it's good. 0 out of 71 scanners show any problem with it. Now, always does that if you don't hurry. Still opens up. Usually most applications, if you move to another window, it'll open up in that window, and if it's still working, but PDFs don't. Okay. Uh-oh, what do we got here? That ain't English. None of it's English. Espanol. That's what it is. Yes, Espanol. La camera, etc. I think so. I don't know hardly any Spanish words, but you know, I live in Texas, born and raised in Texas, and more than half of the population in Texas now speak Spanish or know it. I mean, they speak English and Spanish. That was not of any use to me. Can't read a word of that. I don't understand then. Why? Go ahead and get rid of that before I think it's something that. Okay, so yeah. So I'm a dummy. I don't know why I didn't think of ES for Espanol. But the other one, IT, is Italian, I guarantee you that. So I guess they don't have a quick start guide by itself in English. Maybe because it's in the manual. I forgot that it's in there. The manual that I have open over here. This. Let's see. Well, let's go to the first page. Well, those links don't work. Sure would be nice to get rid of all that if it ain't going to do anything. But there's one where we want to go. Set up camera in the browser and all that. And the software. Actually, I guess I'm not on the browser one. I was thinking I may have to use the software first. Well, it's really not. There's a little, oh, that's what it was. It's a little paper quick start guide that I was looking at. The mobile application won't even run on my phone, so I can't do that. I'm going to go back to the beginning and search for browser. I don't know. Oh, I think they used a different word besides browser. Where's the search? It didn't go. There it is. Oh, it goes away when you use it. Okay. I'll have to actually try to read it. Set up the camera. Mobile. Software. Yeah, there it is. Browser. Okay, we'll go there. Okay, now we'll go there in a minute. And okay, now we'll go back to the camera and get the thing up and go, get the thing going here. Oh, that's my outside. See, that's now what happens. That's the night vision on my IP webcam app. You know, that's on my other phone that's sticking out, looking out the window. But when there's lights on in the room, then you see the reflection of the Venetian blinds and the curtain sometime. In the daytime, sometimes you'll see the colors of the curtain. So trying to go through the window. And then there's the screen, you know, the little, like square pixels is the screen. Now, at different times of the night, that'll change, you know. And also, well, we have a light over our garage that automatically comes on. And it looks like maybe the porch light's on, too, because, see, it's brightness all the way over to the right. Usually the dark right side would be kind of dark. So this is where I was intending to go anyway. Okay. So, There we go. This is what I was thinking I would do. Oh yeah, I have to move the. I think I better put this thing somewhere where I don't lose the card. I'm fixing to put it in there, but I can't decide where to put it so that I don't lose it. Okay, so yeah, I need to have this over here. I got my microphone. Usually I use my wireless mic when I'm doing something like this, but that's not too awful bad, so we'll try to go with that. I've got my Allen wrench that will fit that. It's a metric. Let's see now. Oh, where's that little book? It's not like it's something complicated. Oh, it's not in the book. It's in the. This is the book that I keep talking about, but there's a quick start guide in with the other papers. Is what I was wanting to look at. It's yeah, one side's Chinese. Is it? Oh yeah, take the screws out of the speaker cover, put the SD card in, and then put the antenna on there. Oh, that's the thing about the. I don't know if it. When does it? I guess it doesn't even say. Yeah, and the rest of it's a different language. Okay, so that's really it. I guess they figure you already know how to put. I've seen people not understanding the antennas and breaking them, trying to put them on and stuff. On some of the other brands, actually. So anyway, well, I didn't go any more than just this page here a while ago. That was all the things to watch out for. I had this where before I had that, where it would, you're right side up. What is that about? Yeah, it's just so tiny. That's the only way I can read it, but my neck's hurting from bending down like I am. I'm not sitting comfortable like I usually do. Okay, so because I'm sitting straight up and then I'm bending down to see the table and to make sure I'm close to the mic. It's really different than what I'm used to. Okay, so that's where we're going to put the. Make sure that's not loose. While I'm thinking about it, I'm going to just give that a little. Oops. I was looking up at the computer screen. Yeah, it's pretty tight. A lot of times that kind of stuff comes loose. Is loose when you get it, I mean. It arrives loose. But, yeah, there's quite a few little... You could turn this, I believe, and I may end up wanting to do that, but right now I just want to... I probably want it to be flipped. Well, if I mount this like I'm thinking I'm going to mount it like that, then I'm going to want the speaker down so the water won't get in it. But right now I just want to... Actually, I might loosen that up so that I can... I don't know if that matters, though. Well, I was just wanting to be able to get it under the... That'll be all right. So I'll just loosen up that elbow there. And get it just so I can get it under the under the camera when it's actually they're just a blur to my eyes, so that's actually helpful to me. That way I won't miss the spot. I think I'll leave them in there, and I think maybe they might actually help lift the lid up. I don't know if it matters which way this goes. I'm gonna put a little mark on here. Uh-oh, I don't think you're gonna be able to see that. I was trying to use a real sharp, let's see, something blue, something borrowed, something blue. Not too blue though. Yeah, oh, you can see it under the deal, but there. Now we'll know. Yeah. I don't think they're actually meant to come all the way out. They hung on when I picked up on the... There's wires hooked to that. Oh, the speaker. Yeah, the speaker's right there. Of course. So that's. I thought the speaker would be mounted down in there. I didn't think it'd be on the cover, but makes sense now. Kind of hard to get too close, but the cover feels heavy duty. I thought they said it was aluminum. That cover's not aluminum. Okay, there's the SD card slot right there. One thing I don't know for sure, which way does it actually go? Uh-oh, now the screws come out. Let's take them out and put them somewhere safe. Well, that one doesn't come out. Oh, yes, it does. Okay, so what I'm hoping here is I can see the contacts. Let me turn on the light in the camera. Maybe that'll... If I can see the reflection of where the contacts are. I mean, it may only go in there one way. It looks like they're up in the top of that, and I would have thought the other way around. Or are they? No, wait. I think I was seeing the reflection of them. Not helping much then, is it? Yeah, they're down on the circuit board. Okay. Now, where's my card? It looks wider than... So what I'm saying is the contacts, you want to put them in there the right way. It's wider than this card. By far. Did I get mixed up about another size of SD cards that I don't... Well, that full size one won't go in there and save its life. What other size is there? That's the only two sizes I've ever dealt with. Maybe it just... I mean, it wobbles around in there like... Oh, no, I see. This thing is just wider. But I guess you have to push it on in there further, though, than that. I don't want to do it if it's... Okay, yeah, it's got a spring-loaded thing. Let's see if it would not let you put it in the other way. See if it's dummy-proof. Yeah, it won't go the other way. It's dummy-proof. Idiot-proof is what they usually always used to say. Okay, yeah, and it's got a spring-loaded deal, and when it's in, it locks down. Yeah, so I wanted that to go back the same way, because a lot of times the screws won't... There's a seal on that that's coming off of there. What good is that if it's going to come off of there? Okay, it needs to be put in there first. See that little square O-ring? Rectangular O-ring? Make sure it goes down. There's a groove for it to go in. I was going to take that sticker off because it kept raising up and wanting to come off, but I'm worried about the thing even working for me. Thing is, I know I'm stuck with it unless it's came broke, you know, because I'm not going to spend, you know, $25, $35 to send it back if it's not something wrong with it. You know, you can't. You got to pay to send it back. So, let's see, where's my mark? Yep, see, it's turned around. It's turned around on me. It might not matter, but that's the way it wants to go. You can tell by the wire. I was having to fight the wire too much. Yep. I want a lot of times these things. Once they've been screwed down, maybe originally it didn't really matter, but once they've been screwed down, they kind of seat them, you know, and they fit better one way, the way they were there, the way it was on there before you took it off. I can't hold on to this for nothing. And my little screwdriver is magnetic, but it's not. It's kind of losing its strength. Get it about halfway down and get the other one started. Or there we go. I don't know, maybe that speaker is actually like an outdoor speaker. There's a speaker and a mic. I guess it's all right in there, unless the mic's somewhere other spot, but like boat speaker kind of thing, you know. But still, I wouldn't mount it so that this is up. I would mount it down because you don't want water just going in there, and it would just sit in there on top of that speaker. I mean, water can still going to get in it a little bit when the wind blows and stuff, but I expected it to go down a little further. You can feel it sticking out quite a bit, but it's down. Oh yeah, it's got a raised up place for it to be. Okay. There we go. Now, well, I guess it's time to take this off. I wanted to make sure I didn't scratch it. Let's see what this looks like. Okay, that's where the LEDs are. They're inside of that dark ring. Turn that light off. You have to go over there where the USB plug is to turn the light on and off. Let's see. Yeah, when the login for the thing is admin. We got to remember that. And it has its own UID. Okay, now, yeah, so I'm just going to go ahead and, that's thing. See, they expect you to mount it like this. Let me go to the. You can see, I guess, if I just kind of move this, mount it like that, up under an eave, and I'm not going to be doing that. It's going to be like this, or it might be like this, but actually, this doesn't feel. This is plastic. That's metal. I can tell that. That's probably metal. That covers plastic. This mount is plastic, so I don't think it would really hold it like that. I guess I could take it all the way off and flip it. Take the screw all the way out, take it off, and then flip it so that I can. It's just not made to go like that. It's made to go like that. It's not made to go any further than like that. So, and you can, I'm sure if you loosen these, you could turn this part to get the cable to go. See, there's a little notch for the cable to go out from, so that you can make it go flush. That's not, that'd be fine, that's good, but it's not what I was expecting. See, so I'm going to put it back the way it wants to go for now. I'm not going to, fight with it now. Figuring all that out. I'm not ready to mount it yet. I just want to try it out. I did think I might mount it on that board over there so it would stand up. I think I will do that. I brought some screws. Don't know how tight that needs to be. Since this mount is plastic, I don't want to overdo it, and see if those are already tight enough. Oh, is that another one? Yep. Oh, so I don't think you have to take anything apart. I think you can loosen these and probably turn the camera itself. Yeah, I think you could turn the camera itself, but I won't do that right now because just for test and turn up. Let's get this on here. So we got our antenna that, oh, what is all this stuff? Oh, I see what it is. Okay, the antenna is straight right now, but it does that. So that's all there is to that. This is the weather seal connector, but it's for, I remember, this is, see how big it is. It's for the Ethernet. It's not for the, it's talking about the power connector. Getting dirty. Yeah, it's for the Ethernet one. It snaps onto here. If you but that would only help you if you, we're using Ethernet. You put your Ethernet cable inside of it, and then I don't know how you would. You'd have to make up your own Ethernet cable. Looks to me like. Let's get it. Well, let's put the antenna on first, then we'll look at that. So I'm just gonna leave it straight until I get it on there, and then I'm just gonna do it finger tight. You don't want to overdo that. Yeah, don't turn it by the antenna. You'll break that plastic stuff for sure. So that'll be fine. Actually, I should have left it off until I get done trying to mount it. Yeah, I'm going to leave it off. I'm going to go ahead and mount it on this board. Let's take a look at this. I've seen it in, well, I think I've seen it in pictures, and I've seen them in other brands and stuff. I don't know. Can't remember if they had a video, and some videos about these things. But never used one, but I got the idea. So there that is. Think of what I was saying. Oh, okay. It's big enough to go over your Cat 5 cable. That I'm going to need it anyway. Or Cat 6 cable, actually, in my case. So my cable, not sure how many pieces. Okay, so you got this one, the rubber part, and this, and the rubber seal there. So this, if this was not quite as big of one, if this was a regular one without that extra protector, it should slide. It would probably slide over it. It might make it. Yeah, oh, it'll make it. But you need this on there. Will this make it? Yeah, I think you might could get it. Like I said, this is an extra big thing here. If you had one that didn't have, I've got plenty of those, but I like this design. This is the only one I've seen with a protector that was easy to open and didn't. Because if you don't have I've got a bunch of them without the protectors, and they all get broke. But yeah, so this would go on, and then you'd slide that in there, put this part on, and then you would slide that over it and screw it down, and that O-ring would go in there, I think. No, I think the rubber goes in there. Yeah, the rubber goes in there. Yeah. I don't quite get the rubber part. It's not split. Oh, yes, it is. It's split. So, yeah, the rubber goes in there. It would go around your cable. And see that? Yeah, when you buy cheap cables, this is what happens within a month. And I never move these around that much. Just aggravating. And then this, I think, goes up in here. Yeah. And when you screw them together, you plug this in. Then you can plug this in to the Ethernet. Well, that's actually what I'm going to do, but I'm not going to use all that stuff. Yeah, and then I think the O-ring goes on here, and this is screw on there. So I'm not really doing it. So now if I can't use the Wi-Fi, if my router can't handle it, I could this one camera. The reason I don't want to go with, I would actually rather have PoE cameras, and wired, because then you wouldn't have the problem with using up all your bandwidth on your Wi-Fi. But I can't do all that work in the attic anymore. I'll be doing good just to maybe run something through the wall, and stuff, or out the window like I was talking about. But and then here's the power supply. Let's see what this says on it. On 100 to 240 volts, 50, 60 hertz, 0.35 amps. Oh, that's 35 amps AC. And output 12 volts, 1 amp. Okay. So this, I have to undo it so that we can, let me go ahead and move this now. Go ahead and get off of that camera. I think this doesn't have to be, super close up. Well, I already showed putting on the antenna once. So this, I won't even unravel the cable yet. Got that there. Oh yeah, I was going to go ahead and mount this on the board. And there is an Ethernet cable that came with it. I meant to look at, see if there's some letters on it. See if it's Cat 6. I didn't even want to take, I'm not going to be using it right now because that cable I was showing you just now is a Cat 6 and it's already plugged into my router. It's one of those sealed bags. I figure I'll leave it until I want to use it for something. It's Cat 5e. It's not Cat 6. That's still, I think it'll do gigabit, I think, or close to it. So, but this cable is the one that I call, that is Cat 6. I didn't know when I bought this a few years ago that there's really a big problem with counterfeit cables, and when you buy things that say they're Cat 6 cables, they might not really be Cat 6, and they may not. And the big thing they do to save money is they don't make them out of copper. They make them out of, I think it was mostly aluminum. There's two ways I think I remember reading about it. Maybe they put a bunch of alloy that's cheap, maybe aluminum, maybe something else in the copper, or it is aluminum wire, and they just, or some other kind of cheap wire, and they just coat it with some aluminum. Of course, that rubs off. That would be rubbing off inside the jacket with a little movement, But as soon as you were to terminate it to anywhere, it would be rubbed off already, even in something like this. So. And there's a whole science to the copper, how it's mixed and made to be good for data transmission, digital, audio, analog, video, all that. There is a whole science to not just the wrap cable, like the wrap of the pairs of cable and all that, but the mix of the copper in the wire and whether or not it is copper. But okay, so I think I can do this. I don't have a single battery powered drill that works right now, and I didn't want to drag out my electric drill. So I think I can just this is a piece of scrap wood that had for a good while. And not quite sure where I want. I think I'll just put it about right in the middle. I just want it to keep it standing up. That's what I'm wanting to do. And I think 2 screws will be enough. I think I can do it with my little ratchet screwdriver. We'll see. Got some screws out of the garage that are just the right length to not go all the way through the. Just put that back until we need it. Not go all the way through my 3/4 plywood here. That is 3/4, isn't it? Better check and see. Here's the best way to check. Stick it through the device, the object you want it to go through. Drop it and stuff like that. And then set it. Oh, it just wants to poke out. This is not 3/4. This is not full. Well, most 3/4 plywood's not full 3/4 anymore, unless it's cabinet grade plywood. This might actually be 5/8 plywood. I'm gonna look and see what it really is. But I think I'll be all right still. Yeah, that's 5/8 plywood. I don't think that was even called 3/4. I just looked at it and thought to myself, that's 3/4. But it wasn't. Okay. Yeah, I just put it kind of in the middle. I kind of don't want the end sticking out past the board. I don't know why, but. Okay. And I do believe just 2 of these screws will work. If not, I can kind of straighten it out. And I may have to stand up to get a little leverage on it, get it started. It's so easy to. When I was a kid, I drove a mini screws with a regular screwdriver. I never saw a ratchet screwdriver until after I don't remember how old I was. I'm grown. I'm sure they had them. All the tools that we have now, they had them. All these. Uh-oh. Did it go through? Yep. It was just barely. And I don't have anything to sand it down with. But I got to do something. Oh, I know what I can do. Do what we always used to do. Oh, I don't have anything in here to clip it with I don't want to mess up my good clipper. These are all electrical and in the house tools. I don't want to mess up my. Well, I'm just wanting the little end cut off of it. Here's one that I don't really care about. So what I'm going to do is just cut the end off, but I don't want to do. Well, let's see. It'll go everywhere. The only place I can do it is over the trash can without losing it. I think I got enough off. Okay, so the one that I've already ran in, I'll take it out. The one that's sticking into my little table, luckily it's not an important table. And I'll put that one in there. And then to get this one started on the other side, and then I'll cut the tip off. It's actually pretty easy to drive these in this plywood. That's why I got this piece of plywood, something that's soft. Old and soft. Oh, great. Now I can't switch the ratchet. There we go. It's hard to do with one hand. But this handle is big around enough to give you some leverage. Yeah, it works. Okay, so yeah, these 2 screws should be enough just for testing. Actually, I'm going to go all the way down and then come back up. Just cut it off. Yeah, I have a pair of wire cutters. I used to be a cabinet maker, and back in the 80s, and we had to cut a lot of screws and nails to make them short enough. That's the quickest thing to do, you know. And I had a cheap pair of wire cutters that I only use for that. It's because it'll make divots in the blades, you know, cutting hard screws and stuff. Nails are not too hard, but screws can be. These black screws can be. And if you try to cut the whole thing, I was just cutting the very tip off, so it wasn't a big deal. So anyway, they're out in the garage in my nail bag, and I don't want to go get them in the middle of my video. So I wouldn't have done that if it was a whole screw. Well, my hands don't got the strength to do that anymore with a small. This is what I was using. It's a little small pair of needle nose pliers that they have a cutter on them. And they used to have the rubber handle on them, and it was broken on this side and fell completely off on that side. But they got a nice point, smaller point than my other pair. Okay, so now we got this all ready. Yeah, it's not sticking out. You look to make sure. You're just eyeballing how long you're making them. So, yep. See, I thought about doing something like this, and then you could even just use a C-clamp and clamp it on the ledge. Of course, you really don't need this round piece. Was just a cutout that I've been using to, you know, when I want to drill a hole or something, I'll set whatever it is. Just a piece of scrap wood. Oh, I know what this was. It was a speaker cutout. I was making a speaker box. That's why it's oval shape, 6x9. So I drilled a hole in that end and that end, and then I used my jigsaw to cut it out. And that other hole down there is when I was using it, you know, as a piece of scrap when I was drilling something. Anyway, now it'll stand up, and I can, if I want to aim it, I can even loosen that and aim it. Okay, so, let's see. But I'll probably just really and truly mount it. I've got some real tap cons and all kinds of those screws that came with it. I didn't even show them. Where are they? Oh, they're in the box. They're sheetrock anchors, little cheap old silver screws with the plastic expandable deals. Sheetrock anchors. That's what they gave you. Now, how the heck you can use sheetrock anchors on wood? Generally, you know, if you're mounting it like up in the eave of the house, or if you have a brick house, it's kind of silly. You know, I don't know. Maybe it makes people feel better to get some screws. It seems to. People always, oh, they didn't come with any screws. Now I got to go get screws. Well, don't you got screws in your garage or in your closet in your apartment, in your kitchen drawer? I mean, everybody should have screws, nails and screws and stuff like that. So, because there's so many different, you know, surfaces you might be mounting this thing on. You could be mounting it on wood. You could be mounting it on brick. You could be mounting it on concrete. You could be mounting it on a steel wall, a steel pole, a tree. So, and those are really, I don't use those things when the heads, you know, they're so cheap that you'll strip them out trying to screw them into the, you know, the plastic if you're using it as a sheetrock anchor like it's meant to be, the ones that they gave you. Probably, I'm sure you've seen them. So anyway, I'm trying to get this cord untangled. Plug in this power supply. Let's see. I have to figure out how to get to that. And I think I'll go ahead and plug in the Ethernet So I'm going to plug the Ethernet cable in right now. That way when I power it up, it'll be ready to go. And trying to think of where. Oh, I didn't put the antenna on there, so I'll put the antenna back on there. I guess I'll just leave it sitting right here. I was thinking I would set it and aim it at me or something, but oh, that still turns. You got to hold on to. There's kind of a, it's got a little grip. It's got some. I don't know how to explain it, but I might have saw it earlier into the. But that still turns any way you want it, so I'm just going to do straight up. Anyway, I'll probably set this somewhere and aim it towards me, but I'll have to move this or do something. First, I think we'll keep it right here so we can see the lights and stuff, because it tells you to watch for the LED lights. Yeah. Okay, and I wanted to go ahead and give is that still damp enough? I cleaned my glasses with that a while ago. It's not. Oh, I think. So we'll. Clean that lens a little bit. Brand new lens, never been gotten a factory grease off of it or anything that might be on there. I think it's a nice looking camera, but the other ones, they were the old-fashioned looking security cameras, most of the ones I was looking at, and they all touted that they were all aluminum, and I think they were. It looked like aluminum in the pictures. Mounting, everything, not just the. I think the barrel here is aluminum, like they say, and this is aluminum. This is plastic, pretty soft, pretty lightweight plastic. Front of here is plastic. That's probably plastic. I think it is. So, and a lot of the others, they're a lot bigger. And one thing I would have liked is some of them have that sun guard. Sunshade on them, but like I said, I was so put off by the having them break soon or defects and stuff, and that's what I ended up picking. I don't know. I'm thinking of some of the other ones I saw that had the stuff I want. For one thing, this only does 2.4 gigahertz, and with 5 megapixel camera, you really need the 5 gigahertz. That's faster speed, except for it doesn't go that far. The 5 gigahertz is not going to go. It won't go to the living room from in here. You'd have to have a signal. You'd have to have one of them would give you, if you asked for it, a 10-foot, send you a 10-foot antenna. But I think they just had pretty weak radios on theirs, and they were only 2 megapixel cameras. But, I got to thinking, if you had a 10-foot antenna, and you might be able to use the 5 gigahertz. Those cameras weren't 5 gigahertz, but there's one brand, Real Link. They really had all the features I wanted, but they had worse reviews than any other brand. If you look on Amazon now, on their website, they got reviews on there, and of course they're all good. But on Amazon, there are 3 to 3.5 stars. That's almost every camera they sold. And, when people write bad reviews, they hardly ever lie. It's the ones that write the shining reviews that are getting them for free or getting paid. There are actually people that actually get paid to write reviews. I've seen their advertisements on their websites before, or on not forums, but places where you work at home type of thing. Digital work, I don't know what to say. Okay, I'm going to plug this in. Okay, so I got it plugged in, and I went ahead and ran the cable to the back of my workbench here, just like the Ethernet. So in case I decide to move things around, I won't get all mixed up and confused. Now, well, we'll plug it in on the camera and then we'll open up the browser and look for it and stuff. Okay. Oh, I was looking for the plug on the back on here. It's on the cable. So there you go. Made a noise. Speaker made a little noise when I plugged it in. I'm afraid that light will hit me in the eye and blind me here in a minute. I heard it make a noise. I think they said something about it making a noise when it was done booting up. I'm going to point it at the camera and maybe you can see it. If it starts light, it said you look for the LED, infrared, not LED. Well, it's probably an infrared LED, but yes. But said you'd be able to see it if it boots up right. So I don't want it to shine. I was going to be looking at it, and I thought, yeah, it'll blind me. I won't be able to see for 10 minutes. There's no power light. Yeah, it said, look at the infrared. Look for the infrared. So I can see that in the preview. I don't see anything yet. It seems like it ought to be booted up by now. If it didn't work, at least I'd have if I wanted to, then I would have to send it back. And then I'd definitely pick something else. If it was DOA, it's just the kind of thing I was worried about. Either DOA or break it a month or even a year, you know. A whole bunch of them would work for a few months and then break. I don't see no light. Well, I'm going to go ahead and try to go to the website that that it's supposed to have the administration and all that. I'm going to try setting this over here over there on the Acer laptop and aim it kind of at me and. I don't think I got it. I didn't think about raising it up or anything. I can see that it's way too low. This, put it somewhere else out of the way for now. I'll just put it back up here where I normally keep it. Okay, so well, I know what I can do. I can set it up a little higher. Now we'll see what we get. Let me check go ahead and switch to the desktop, and then I'm going to check my audio on my stream. Yeah. Okay. Now, first thing we'll do, we'll look at the instructions again. And then, in the browser, okay, still says download the software. Connect the camera to the power supply. Connect the camera to the router via LAN. Make sure that your PC and your camera are in the same network. Connect the camera in the browser. Run the search tool. That's another set of software. Windows software. click on the camera, interface on the browser, and default, put default username, admin. Select language, picture 5. Okay, that's over here. There's the interface that you'd be getting. Okay, so we're doing the Ethernet first. So then we'll set up the Wi-Fi. And I have to have another. I think I'm getting too hot. I closed the window a while ago because I was getting a little chilly. Now it's up to 7. It was 77 something. Now it's 78.6. And I feel the kind of feel heat around me. I'm gonna get a cough drop and I'm gonna go crack that window, and then I'll open up the go into the browser. Okay, now, so I'm going to try finding it, but I'm going to leave that open in case I need it. And go to my router login. Okay. I'll be able to see if there's a new device in here. Don't need that Windows software for that. IP cam. It's got to be it. Because my phones show up. TCT mobile, they show up like that. Where's the rest of my phones? TCT, I didn't. Sometimes see mine are, Alcatel phones, but sometimes things don't. They show up as the brand of the motherboard usually, like the computers do. So you might have a Dell computer. Sometimes it'll show up as a Dell. Sometimes it'll show up as something else. But yeah, phone 1, TCT mobile. So, but anyway, it's this one here. Can't read it, but if I do that, like I want to change it, I guess I might as well reserve the IP right now too. I'm going to leave the name as it is. I'm not going to change it. I don't know if it'll foul something up. Take effect after reconnecting. Okay. I'm not going to reconnect right now. Just going to try to go there. There's the login. Cool beans. There we go. I won't save it right now. I don't want to save it because I'm going to need to change it. What did that call? IP camera. Yeah, I already forgot to put one of those in the... I'm going to make a folder just for this thing, assuming they'll keep it and everything. Okay, so we got two things, PC view and setup software first time. I'm going to hold down control and open this up in a new page. I just want to see what it looks like. Well, I'm upside down. Oh, because I didn't... and this has like a 110-degree view, so you see it's got that... Doesn't have a fisheye look, it's got a bubble eye look. That bugs me. I'd like to have it does look sharp, doesn't it? Let me see if I can have a way to turn it over. So if I flip it over, uh-oh, it's already stopped previewing, hadn't it? Uh-oh, my computer's not handling that. Let me go see. So I turned it over, I'm just holding it, but it's way behind. Yeah, see, because it's such high resolution, Firefox is using way too much resources along with me making this video. I'm going to have to close Firefox. And what can I do? I'm going to go ahead and see if I can look at it in, I'm pretty sure, well, I can close the stream, that'll help. So I'm going to hurry up and oh, there's settings right there. Oh, I didn't think about, I don't have time to try to rearrange the way it's mounted or anything. Let's see if now Firefox is not going so crazy, so, but I'm still going to have to, I think I'm going to have to close it. I need to set it down. It's I saw those red lights on. There's 4 of them that came on, those infrared lights. Okay, well, I'm going to kind of hurry up and just look over this and show it a little bit. See, there's a video. The size is 2560 by 1920. Bit rate 1536. Maximum frame rate 15. Frame interval 30 seconds, I think. Bit rate, VBR, variable bit rate, image quality. The smaller the value, the better the image quality. Larger flow control. Second stream. Okay, that's the first stream. Second stream, 800 by 600. Bit rate 512. Okay, so it does have the dual stream thing, but what I want to know is, I want to view the lower one because of the bit rate, problem on the on the router. And this is wired. This is not even Wi-Fi yet. One of those may be wired and the other one may be wireless. I didn't think about that. And the smaller the value, I'll have to read up in the manual about which one's which, first stream, second stream. And that's all there is on there. And then, so video, that's what I'm looking at. On-screen display, set image, timestamp on. Okay, and then image. Oh, the brightness and all that stuff. It actually looks really good other than it being round looking. I didn't know it was going to be that round. I thought it'd be kind of a little bit funky, but I guess it's really only good far away then. This is like one of those cameras that you put up. I saw that it said 100, 110. My mouse quit. Okay, I gotta close that page. Stream is viewed. It wants to lock everything up. My stream is probably getting, my video's probably getting screwed up. Maybe even my backup video. I may have to close Firefox. I think I better. And nothing's really responding. I may not get to do it. Get over here to, I should have just tried clicking on it, but It's usually better to go over there to the system resources and close it that way when it's acting up, slowing down the machine like that. But sometimes I don't want to go over there. There we go. Hurry up, close Firefox. So that's a problem. I mean, if I wasn't doing an OBS at the same time, then I could probably get away with it. But of course, I want to go ahead and be able to make this video, so I'm going to keep trying. Okay, I do think I better leave the PDF open with the manual. I'm going to close this. Crusader doesn't have to be open right now, so I'm going to close that. Sometimes it'll start using a bunch of resources and you don't even know it. Well, I just realized, well, you know, that thing's not really even aimed at me, but I was in the picture big time because it has such a wide field of view. And it's so close to me, it's only about 3 feet from me. Come on, Crusader, close. That's because the machine is... What happens is it starts using up all the... Well, it uses... It starts using up too much RAM, and then at the same time it starts using up too much CPU. And see, OBS is even using... Well, that's about normal for OBS. So, yeah, now we got those two closed. We should be okay. Yeah, things are back to normal now. Okay, good. Now what I'm going to do is turn on my... I'll still have open up Firefox, but this time I won't go straight to the camera. I'm going to plug in... let's see. I think, do I want to move this camera or anything? I think I'm going to go ahead and... Oops. That was an outside camera. I wanted to compare the two, but I don't think there's no way I could be viewing them both at the same time. Well, I can, and I don't think it'll handle it at all, but I'm going to just see. So let me get up here and plug in the Raspberry Pi. Trying to get it to where when I sit down, it'll actually be good. Oh yeah, I just realized my stream is showing in the red up there. I haven't been paying attention to it. It's still in the red. I may have screwed up the stream altogether. It may have dropped so many frames it's no good, but I should, hopefully my backup video will be better at least, and I may have to upload that. I had to do that the last time. Well, not the last time. Once this week. I've been making video all dang near every day. Yesterday I didn't. So, how am I going to do this? Oh, I'm going to go to the Raspberry Pi in the browser. Yeah, the Raspberry Pi is 700 megahertz and 512 megabyte of RAM, and you know, when I plugged it up, when I had two of my cameras hooked up to it, and then added the USB camera, it showed it, but one of the USB cameras it did, the other one it wouldn't work. But it showed it, but I saw me move just a little bit once, you know. It was just, it couldn't handle it. It was just, and that's what happens when either you don't have a good codec for the device you're on, or and I couldn't change the codec. I only had one choice that would work. Or you, oh, it's going back to where it was. I'm going to have to go ahead and I'll close this page before it gets. I'm not going to log into it this time. Oh, cancel and then close. And I'm not going to have two pages open. Let's see. I don't remember the IP of the Raspberry. I don't even remember how I get there. Up there. Motion iOS. That's what it is. Motion I. Okay. To open up my shortcuts. So, you almost need a dedicated machine to manage this. I could turn on the Acer and go there from the Acer, and then look at and control the Acer from this remote desktop in this machine, and then it'll do all that work, that hard work, and this one will only have to do the streaming work. I think I'll do that in a minute. Let's see if my sound is there. Still, my stream's bad. It's not good. Of course, sometimes it goes on like that. Sometimes it goes on like that, but it's it doesn't show up. You don't get drop frames or anything. Raspberry Pi off-grid what? Oh, that was something I read today. Oh, and Parrot OS. Yeah, okay. What I want is this one. Motion iOS. Here we go. I want to go there to log into it. Should be up and running by now. For a little while. On top of everything else, I've been streaming on this machine for quite a few hours now. I did a little over 2 hours, and then took a little break and started again. There we go. I forgot the IP address of the. Let's see. I'll have to find the IP address in my. Now there's the outside one. Now this is the camera 3, which I'm just going to go there and turn camera 3 off. It's not running right now, and so we'll turn it off so that it's not trying to use any resources for sure. This is how I was planning on comparing them, is adding it in here. It's up and serving. I mean, we saw that. So IP address. That's why I put everything in favorites. Let's see. That's it. I don't think I need to put the HTTP and all that in there. Can't remember. Oh yeah, we got to go here. Now, boy, I had a heck of a time finding this. I finally found it in a Google search. You click on the camera name, and it's actually a drop-down menu. It looks like a field you could type in, or just not even a field, just camera name. But it actually has a drop-down menu. Add camera, and then you have a drop-down menu there. They don't look like buttons, and buttons is where you usually have a button to show you that it's a drop-down menu. Network camera, motion simple MJPEG. I don't know what MMAL camera is, but this would be a network camera. Oh, you do need the whole. Actually, they told you if you wanted to just go to the camera, you went to a special. That was the admin page there. Let's see, how do you do this? Yeah, you just need the stream address. What would the stream address be? I can try the software is another thing I could do. Well, this machine's already gotten in trouble once. Trying to run that XP now would probably lock it up. I might have to go to the stream. I don't remember what it took to get to the stream. Let's see. Well, let's just try the whole address there and see. If that's not it, then we'll risk opening that up again. There's no username just to view it. Oh, yeah, there is. Admin. Oh, that was great. Oh, what I hit. Control V. There we go. Admin. Yes, I know, because I haven't finished typing it in yet. But it does see something. This is it. RTSP and JPEG. Let's try that. Admin. Not supported network camera. Not a supported network camera. But that could be because I have the URL wrong too. Set up software first time. I want to see that. Well, I'm going to download that. Might end up needing it. That was convenient. I'll just get off there. Well, we better wait till those are done and close it. Oh, look at that. Well, how about that? This is why I do this. Sometimes you can, say, well, I think it's a false positive. One engine detected, PUP generic, potentially unwanted program. Okay. So it's probably got some advertising crap in it. So I'm not too worried about that, but I'm probably not going to end up using it anyway. Well, I'm not going to. I don't need to know any more than what I just saw there. And the URL. So the URL is clean, but the file does have a potential unwanted program. Okay, we'll go to PC View. Now, where's the actual... This cameras, like, the way I mounted it, it's upside down. See, so I was right. You don't want the speaker up. Trying to see. I don't guess there is a... If there is something just for the video stream, I don't see really. Well, I don't think about. I can't keep looking at it, because of the. But what was SD? Something about the SD card and something else might be missing. So. Well, it could be that it's just not. I could just try what my other one does, but I don't think not found. Not supported video stream. Since it could be. Well, I think that's what mine said until I caught the right exact URL in there. I saw it somewhere, but. Oh, it might have been in that book. I remember telling you how to look at the stream. I'm just going to look at the book for a second here. No, I don't see anything. Well, I don't know. So I think I won't keep trying to view it. I know that it can't handle it. You saw what? Well, of course. Um, well, I think it is the video stream more than anything that's giving the computer trouble. I don't think it's the web page there. Sometimes that happens, but I don't think that's what it is. So, yeah, there's all kinds of instructions in the book here. It's so tiny. I don't know if it's different than what I went through on the, PDF instructions on the computer. It's so little I can't really even make sense of it in my head just looking at it quickly like that. Okay, so I'm going to get off of that and go ahead and click on it there. Then I'm going to close the browser, and then when I want to open it back up, I can just go back to previous. So there, that software, I'll just go ahead and I think maybe that what I downloaded is a software downloader, and I already downloaded the full version of the software. So, gonna try that opening up. I'm gonna boot up the old Acer. Where can I put my tool that I won't lose it? There's that cover for the. Let's see. Okay, now let me see. Yeah, I'm not gonna. I started to move the cameras, so you can see what's going on, but really, it's nothing to see here. So let's get it up. Oh yeah. Okay. So I got the Acer booting up, and had to swap my wireless mouse and keyboard over to the. Oh, there we go. I thought my computer had locked up, but my stream is okay. I can still see my stream. So I swapped my. As soon as it gets booted up, let's see, what do I have to do? Oh yeah, it's going to boot up into a command line. Got to log in and start make desktop. I guess there was something to see there, wasn't there? I knew as soon as I didn't do that, it'd be a long drawn out thing. I have shown and talked a lot about it though before, so let's see. That's the Dell 6000. There it is. Acer. So the Acer, yeah, there we go. I'm going to go ahead and grab this keyboard and pull it down here. Actually, let's pull my keyboard tray back out because that table has a drop leaf that's really crooked. Okay. Let's do what I did last time, I think. I guess. Wait a minute. What is it I'm trying to do here? Well, I know that works. I think if I try to log in as Dawn and start Mate Desktop, it won't start, but if I log in as root, it will. So this is my server, my web server. It's all I used it for, and I just put the desktop on there in case I needed it. Oops. Oh, I got one letter wrong and caught it. Hopefully that worked. Oh, did I hit the wrong key or what? I think I might have hit the shift key instead of the enter key, I'm hoping. I think I made it. Let's see. It's so small I can't hardly read it. Yeah, it's not. Wait. No, I think I made an error. Yeah, I did make an error. Oh, something's not working right. Okay. Yeah, finally got it. I don't know what was going on. I can't read the words over there very well. Try that again. Start X mate. Space mate. And then once mate gets up, then I'll open up the remote desktop app. There's just enough of the top left corner of the screen where I can do that. And then I can get it on in the video. Then I'll connect to the camera web page and have it's a dual core with, what does it have? I think it's got 4 gig of RAM. But anyway, I won't be trying to do anything else. So I had the mouse where I could see it. Well, I think it's still there. Oh, hope it didn't. Yeah, okay. It just done something odd. The screen went black, and then, well, the mouse is not moving. I don't think. It's kind of hard to tell. Anyway, it didn't crash or anything. I think it does that, like, for some reason when it's first getting booted up. But the mouse is not. If you move the mouse around a lot, it will get lost. This wireless mouse. Oh, it's doing that again. I hope there's not something wrong here. Huh. The monitor's getting worse. I think the whole, more than the half actually of the right side, but right bottom side is white, and then there's some black, and then you can see, the little app. Oh, there it comes. The little app the little KDE desktop app is there, but it also always opens up a little login thing, and I think, yeah, there it is, that I haven't actually ever set up to like the KDE wallet, and if I just hit cancel, I can go on about my business. I don't know why the okay, 192.168.0.115. See, I think I have to change, put in the password, the remote password, because I haven't saved it with KDE Wallet. There it is. Change the password. I have to pull it over till it's actually off the screen. Click on the button. There we go. I think I saved it in my viewer last time too. So if I don't use the same one, it won't work. I don't know what'll happen. I'll have to take it out of the viewer or something. We'll see. Okay, we'll get on the desktop again. It's just a little sluggish when I switch screen, workspaces, so I'm a little worried there about that. Probably should have rebooted the last time when I took that break. I thought about it, and I thought, oh, it's running real good. Let's don't mess everything up, because when I reboot, then I have to go retest the video again. If I don't, something will be wrong. So I have to retest the audio, video, and everything before I can start up again. It takes so long. My chair's making a weird noise. It's like something rattling in it. Like I don't know. Maybe it has a spring in it, and there's one in there that's broke or something. When I lean back, it makes something shake inside. I can tell it's inside of the chair. Connect. Let's see. Yeah, I think it's 0.115. 0.115. Connect. Oh, yep. I see this. I had saved the password, like I said. So it just logged right in. I didn't have to type in the password. Okay, so I'll just leave that on that section there. We'll open up the browser. And can actually go to, what is, yeah, F11 is full screen. I'll do that for now. Oh, wait. I got to go over here and get this. Now I closed the browser, and I've completely forgotten what that IP address was. I have to open, let's see. Yeah, I have to open the browser here again, but I can just copy and paste it. I don't have to open the page again and mess everything up. But I am going to have to get to the bookmarks. Let's see. I think it's, oh yeah, cameras. I've got to put that in its own. I'm going to lose all those links if I don't put them in their own thing. Can't get it without messing up. Copy. Paste and go. Yep. Don't save. There it is. Okay. But I will save the bookmark. I don't know where to put it, but let's put it in the toolbar because I don't have very many bookmarks at all in there. That's my server. I don't normally surf on the server. Okay. Man, I want to lean back and make my neck quit hurting. Normally, I lean real far back, and I put my neck on a pillow because my neck is always giving me trouble being weak. And anyway, click on that. Getting tired and hungry, so at least I want to get kind of started in here. But I'm upside down. I'll have to flip the. I'll have to, loosen up those Allen head screws and flip that thing over the other way, and then it'll be right side up. But I didn't want to fool with that right now. I just wanted to see. I guess you probably could flip the image maybe in the software, but in case, I saw me moving. It's a little bit delayed. See, I was trying to look at this screen. I didn't really look at it before. But it does look sharp, doesn't it? But I don't like that. For a security camera, it's got... I really didn't intend to get one with that wide a field of view. I watched a real good video comparing all the different fields of views and megapixels. That's what made me decide I really needed a 5 megapixel if I could get it. I wanted cheap, at a good price. It seemed decent. Because if you want to see license plates, even just you saw in my camera one have, connection closed, computer rebooted. Why? Might have crashed because it's not time for it to update or anything. Maybe that blacking out of the monitor was a sign. I don't know if it rebooted or just crashed. I can see the command line over there. A bunch of this channel error. So I think there could have been a read error on the hard drive. That hard drive not in good shape. It's like imminent failure when you run tests on it. And actually, I couldn't use it for years. Every time you could format it, and then when you start writing files, it would start giving errors. Or if you try to install an operating system, it would fail towards the end of the install. But I learned a trick. If you start your partition about 20 to 40 megabytes in from the beginning, because that's usually where they wear out the most. They write the most at the beginning of the drive. I think. Anyway, somebody told me that. Adrian, developer of Rescue Tux and. I can't think of it. He does two really good Linux distros, but I think it's just hung over there. I went to hard shut it down. Try again. I kind of wondered. I almost tried to log in as a regular user. I don't see why just looking at that though would in the web browser. Even though your root could cause any trouble, really. Matter of fact, I didn't know when I first started Linux in 2005. I'd been running 98 and XP, 3.1, 98 and XP. That was how I went. I skipped 95 and all the other Windows after that. Really, I've used 7 quite a bit, but anyway. So, the first thing I learned is if I wanted to get anything done, I was going to give myself administrator privileges, in XP. So, when I got on Linux, I learned that, you can have regular user and you can have root user. But I figured out that if you I started out as root user, and then I made me a regular user because I started reading, you shouldn't run as root user. It can be unsafe, Somebody breaks into your system, then they've got full privileges, which is true, But I had already installed a whole lot of software, had it all set up the way I wanted it, and so I went on for a couple of years like that. Well, one day somebody sent me something on MySpace. Back when MySpace was a big deal, they sent me some little app that was just supposed to be fun and downloaded into your browser. And it locked up my machine. And I wasn't worried about getting a virus, because I was running Linux and all the viruses back then, especially where this is like 05, 06, 07, somewhere in there. There was hardly anything that could hurt Linux back then. And And normally, if your machine locked up in Linux, you could just hard shut it down, no problem whatsoever, never damages. If it did damage the file, it automatically fixes itself when it boots back up. And it still does that. But for some reason, it just flat broke the file system. And I also wasn't too worried about that sort of thing because I knew how to rescue file systems and stuff. To a certain extent, I know a lot more about it now. Anyway, I couldn't rescue it, couldn't get it working again. Never did. I mean, there could have been some malware that hurt Linux for all I know, but it was just locked up. You know, it didn't break it right away. It just locked up. It just made me mad, and I just I didn't wait hardly any time at all, and I just, powered it down. It was a desktop machine, So anyway, after that, I always made a regular user and never worked in root anymore, except for like when I really had to, But let's try, okay, we're back to the login screen, and that is so far away, I'm going to have to bring it back again. That made me mash it. We'll try it again one more time, and if it acts up again, I'll just figure it's a good thing I'm not trying to use it as my server anymore. Okay, batteries died, the screen's messed up. I don't use the trackpads, but it never has worked since I got it. This is one of two machines that was left in a laundromat where my buddy lived up in Denton, and he doesn't use computers at all. He'll play around with a smartphone a little bit, but he doesn't know how to use computers, and he didn't want them, so he brought them to me. And I did found memory really cheap. I did put memory in it, and power supply. It didn't even have a power supply. I only spent maybe $16, $17, I think, on the power supply, I think. And anyway, now the battery it's basically dead. It won't stay. It can't run on the battery for a minute. So sometimes it won't boot up. Sometimes it will, sometimes it won't. I think and I took the battery out, and it won't boot without the battery. So I think it's the battery causing that. Anyway, this time I'm going to log in as a regular user. Oh, I forgot to change. At least I could. I'm going to have to quit because I can't talk anymore. At least I could let you see who you're talking to. Okay. That time I got it typed in wrong. See, when I switch over to this little wireless keyboard, it's not laid out like my keyboard, so it makes it even harder for me to type. So this time I'm going to see if I can log into the Mate desktop. It's regular user. Last time I did it as root. Last time I used it, I just did that without really. Well, no, I did think about it, and best I could remember, root was the one that worked, and it may not even go in. It may fail and not go into the desktop. We'll see. Well, I don't know why, if I didn't finish installing it right or what, because I ended up having to do it for root, and I wanted to be able to get in there as root in case I needed to the GUI to do some administrative stuff. Just finished a cough drop, I thought. But sometimes it's just easier. Everything you want to do on a web server needs root privileges. Sometimes it's easier to just be in there as root than to have to type SU and type in your root password all over and over to do stuff. But I usually just do that on my regular machines. I think it hasn't done anything, and I can't see the whole screen, but know if it's locked up or it's not bringing the text up to the top. It's just sitting there. Okay. I don't. Well. Oh, my mom's machine. That's an 8-core. We can handle playing that video, but it's on the cable that's on a different network. The other one that I have another one up here ready to try. I thought I might plug it into that camera, but it's not. It's not a Cat 6. It's a Cat 5. And it's over here, and the laptop's over there. I mean, Mom's computer's way over there down in the bottom of the rack. It won't reach. What I'm trying to say is it won't reach. So, yeah, I would have to. It's plugged into a cable that's in the other. I did that when I got this blue one. This blue one was in it, and it was on the same router as everything else. But I did that because I needed find one, you know, that was on my router. My router or my switch, they all have the same subnet because the router gives the switch its IP addresses. But I'm trying to figure out what I should do. It's just seems like it's hung up, but it's not bringing the. I don't think the machine's hung up. Let's see. Clear. There we go. That should get me back up to the top of the. It went black. I don't see my cursor anymore. I don't know if it's going to come back in a little bit or not. But yeah, if you get too much, if you get a bunch of stuff in your terminal window, I didn't know that until last year, I guess. I finally started remembering it. Just type clear and hit enter, and it'll bring you. Get rid of all that text in there, and then your cursor will be back at the top of the screen. But it's not. I don't see a cursor. Oops. Now I do. See something. This is driving me crazy. Yeah, I'm still logged in as Don, and I can't just type. I can't just type root to log in as root. Let's try SU. Get root privileges. I didn't think about that. Whoops. I think it worked. All right, I'll try the Ctronics again. Mate. I keep hitting two keys at once, so I'm always wondering if it's anything's going to work on this little wireless keyboard. Well, I'm not seeing all that text, and I can't. Like I said, I can't. Well, it was tiny, and I couldn't really read it, and I was. Well, you saw when I was about to fall out of my chair, I finally got close enough with that magnifying glass to read a little bit. But anyway, it was from the top, off of the view. Oh, it came up off the viewable part of the screen. Now this one, you know, I somehow. Oh, I know how I did it. Oh yeah, it's doing it in here too. It automatically opens up the remote desktop app, and all I have to do is just. Close that password, you know, that thing asking for the password. It does blink. It blink. It's while it's finishing booting, starting mate. It goes black and stuff. And actually, the mouse doesn't even respond during this time. Well, we'll see if it craps out. I'll try one more time and then I'll quit trying with it. I don't know why I hadn't thought about that. I was thinking. I thought, at one point I had. I was able to log into my desktop from root or Dawn. I think the way you have to do it in Dawn, it doesn't have the privileges to boot it. When you're in the terminal and then you log in as Dawn or any regular user, uh, that's what the problem is. I remember that's what the errors were saying when I did see them before. But so if I just typed SU in the root password, got root privileges, and it worked. So that's what I had been forgetting to do. And I got the mouse now. There we go. Finally got that. The thing doesn't want to move. The one that anyway. So I got that part. Now I'll have to do that password again. Uh-oh. I was trying to just drag that thing over and it made it full screen. Because it was small, That made it big too. Uh-oh. Now I clicked the wrong thing. I tried to click to make it smaller again. Made it full screen, and now it won't drag or do anything. Well, I right clicked up on the top bar and I got it to move now. If I minimize it, I'll never get it back. I know that much. But with it big, I can't see the place to click to put the password in there. I don't know how I did that. I'm going to get my glass. It just says maximize, minimize, and resize. That ain't going to work. I have to get it where I can't move it. It went back to normal. It's just when I did it again. I had made it not so wide by using resize, and then all of a sudden it jumped back to its original size it has when you. I guess it's because I'm dragging it to the left off the screen. It does something. Because I have to do that to see that button. Actually, I think the button's there, and I just wasn't realizing that's what it is. Oh, I see. I'm in the wrong section. There. There's two passwords. There's attended and unattended, and I use the unattended one. If you just click on the button, then it'll come up with a small window, and it'll even get in there where you can see it. Now my laptop is asleep. I'd like to check my stream again with the desktop. Probably should, but I've got my wireless mouse and keyboard plugged into the Acer now. I think I will get that wireless and put it in the laptop, because if this don't work, I'm not going to try again on that. Oh, knocking stuff off. Microphone got somehow got a hold of my USBs and pulled them off the desk. Okay, so still working, and it's green now. You know, earlier it was red. Sometimes when it goes red, that used to when it went red, it meant it was fixing to die on you, and it would. But now it'll start out yellow and red, and it'll go red. You know, it'll go yellow, red, green, yellow, red, green, pretty much the whole time. And it usually doesn't die on you, though. The stream I'm talking about. Okay, so I don't really care what that is. I just put something in there. That was the one I was trying to change down there. But all I could see was a little button. Actually, it didn't look like that. It said password right there. It gives it a default. It gives it a, you know, it makes up its own password every time it starts up, a different password. But that's for the, you have to okay it on the machine and say, yes, I want you to connect. And but you can say enable unattended access, and that's what I did. But since I don't have the password, I either don't have the password set in the password app, I forgot the name of it already, or I forgot what it is and I didn't write it down. I'm not sure, but if you hit, it must be I never set it, because I can just hit cancel and it'll just let me go on about my business. Okay, so what a mess. All the side stuff going wrong. But that tells me something. I didn't think about the, you know, I was worried that the stream would not, my network wouldn't be able to handle the stream. I didn't ever think about my machine not being able to play the video. Could be what's going on this machine, why it crashed. It could be that it did something to it, you know, something too much for it. But I don't have flash on these things. I don't imagine I have even any kind of Java player in this. When here, this was my web server. It's taking forever for I did click on Firefox, didn't I? I don't know. Maybe I still have, excuse me. Maybe I still have the IP address on my clipboard. Now, I hardly ever get the hiccups, but boy, sometimes I get them and they kill me. Well, Now I'll probably be trying to open up. I don't think I missed it or forgot to do it. Trying to gulp some water. Sometimes if you put some water, get a mouth of water and put your head all the way down, your chin on, it doesn't work. Only thing that ever works for me is a spoonful of sugar. And I've got a cough drop in my mouth it's full of sugar. I don't think that'll help. I'll put it under my tongue and see if it'll help. It doesn't want to open up Firefox. It's not running good. Let's switch desktops and it's really slow. Oh, it's just slow on the network because I'm doing remote desktop. Yeah, and I've got that camera. See, that camera's been streaming on my network all this time. There's something just not going right with this machine. It won't start Firefox. I don't know where the system app there. Let's see if that'll show me anything. I see it down there starting up now. I did. This is not the one where you can search. This is the other one. I didn't install the one that I like. I saw Firefox for just a minute. See if it's in it. I've been switching desktops, see if it's in another desktop. I'm just not seeing it. Well, there's no point in clicking on Firefox again and again. I guess I should be looking. It could be that my remote desktop is not showing everything. Better look over there at what I can see of that screen. Well, I'm going to get off the remote desktop. I just realized that that's probably too much network streaming the video. Doggone it. I guess I'll take one last look at it for a second there on the on this machine. Trying to gulp, see if gulping that water will fix that. All it did was make me breathe water when I hiccuped. History. Trying to see. Yeah, that PDF viewer is only using 106 megabyte. Okay. Go ahead and close it anyway. About to fall apart here, so I'm gonna have to quit. Okay, that was software. Okay. That is a good picture, though. I don't think I could try to use it at that high resolution, though. It's like I feared. It's too much for the network. But what, like I said, my plan was, yeah, video settings. I'll have to figure out main profile. Second stream. Which one is which? I'll have to go looking through the manual then, because it could be that one is a wired. I don't think so though. The only one where I really saw an explanation of that, it really threw me for a loop, because you would think that it would be the stream. The logical thing would do the stream at the lower resolution so as not to overwhelm your network, and then the other one would just be recorded H.265. There you go. Video H.265. Main profile. H.264. High profile, main profile, baseline. Oh, okay. H.265 is supposed to be better, easier on the machine, smaller video files, all that. And then the second stream, he's got 800 by 600 and 600 by 480. Well, the one we're seeing there is bigger than that, I think. Well, and again, well, that's just the monitor, though. That is small there. That's just a preview, I thought. But, yeah, I'm going to have to go, I guess I'll have to searching through the manual and everything to figure out which one is which. But what I was, when I was thinking, okay, this would be great, when I saw it was a different camera, not this one, and it said it had this, and I got to realize, and I think most of them do this, what I would want to do, the most logical thing is stream over the network at a lower bandwidth so that it, it doesn't overwhelm your bandwidth, and then save the videos to your SD card in bigger files. But it actually said in the one I was reading about different camera, it was doing it the opposite. And I thought, well, how ridiculous, When you just want to look at it for a minute, it doesn't have to be high profile, high definition. But when you want the video saved to get, when you really need something out of that video, you don't want low resolution, you want high resolution. So I thought, well, surely I could set it up that way. But, okay, let's see what we got here. That's video. That's where I'm at. Okay. OSD set. Timestamp. Time slow. Camera name. Name show. Okay. And then image. Oh, that's just your, settings. And that actually doesn't need, that's the best picture I've ever seen on a camera, well, streaming camera here on my system, ever, because I haven't seen any other than in, videos and reviews and stuff. It looks really funky like that, though, doesn't it? Upside down. Let's see. Audio. 711. G26. I do not know what that's supposed to mean. It's not any normal audio, types. First stream, audio settings on. Second stream, audio settings on. And put type mic. Okay. And then, what's in the network? Network, dynamic IP address, okay. From DHCP server, port 80, that's to get into the, either one, HTTP or TSP. And then, oh no, RTSP is port 554. I'll put a screenshot of that. That might be something I need to know later. Like if I decided to use VLC to get to it, I would need to know that port. Or well, you can do all three of those with VLC. Okay, let's see. We're on what? LAN settings. Okay, that's network. I think so. Wireless. Ah, here we go. Enable wireless. I'm not going to do that right now because it's bad enough on the wired. Web. Yeah, I'll have to look at my router and see what I've got. Oh, WEP's the crappy one. And see, it said don't do that. WPA. I'm pretty sure I have WPA2 and PSK. And it said don't do that. It must not be what they. Well, if it's in the settings, I would just pick whatever my router's using, which I think is that. And then check wireless setup. Well, I'm not going to try to set that up right now. DDNS. That's what routers use to send your. Yeah, that's what routers use to send your IP address to like a hostname forwarding service. Well, I guess that could be very useful, couldn't it? If you like, see, I set my IP to stay the same in my router, but if it was always changing, then you could use DDNS to report back to a server or something. I don't know what it's reporting to. Then there's a UPnP port forwarding, which it's turned off. I'm not going to change anything right now. I'm just looking it over. ONVIF. Do you like Firefox to save this login? No. Ah, so 8080. Oh. All right. So now you would do this. I don't know why it didn't dawn on me when I was trying to make it show up in the. No. Action not implemented. Maybe because it's not turned on in the right places. I don't know. It's supposed to be on there. But that's all I should have to do is just go to this IP and go to 8080, port 8080, and it might work in the Raspberry Pi. I didn't try that because I wasn't thinking. I may try that. It's still running. I may try it here in a second. Okay, oh, that's ONVIF now. Peer-to-peer UID. Okay, that was on the sticker on the camera. Okay, and then alarm. For some, I guess because I've got everything else closed, it's not killing my machine right now. It's making it. Firefox is not going nuts. Schedule. I thought I clicked on that. I guess I clicked on alarm. Oh, I see. Audio alarm. Soft. Alarm. Email. Save video on the FTP server. Save picture on the FTP server. Now, I would like to set that. Well, I have to set me up a server first. Once I get my real server up and running, if I decide I figure out a place I can put it and run it 24/7. I just don't think there's any way I can. Might be able to stand it during the day when I'm up, or during the time when I'm up. It may be at night, but I don't think I can sleep with that thing running. I know because my rack's right next to my bed, a computer rack. I actually have it under the bed, and I thought I might run it under there because it would muffle a lot of the noise. But I think it would heat me up so much. I'm having a lot of trouble with being overheated as it is now because everybody else is cold but me, and they turn on the heater too much. And for me, 78.6 right now, but I got the window open, so I'm okay. I just got it cracked a little bit. It's 52 outside, so it didn't take, and it's windy or something. I keep feeling the cool air. But and I imagine they have the heater set on 76. That's where it was earlier. I looked. My mom might have turned it up though at night. You know, it cools off. She might have turned it up. So anyway, oh, save video on the SD card. I'm going to click that though. I am going to do that. I don't want. I'm not going to. Well, okay, that's the thing they said might be missing, and you might have to use Internet Explorer. Well, there it is. Linkage preset. I don't see anything that needs to be set up other than the setting. You know, the little, the setup that you want to do. I mean, the thing's working. Well, Wi-Fi. Get us set up the Wi-Fi, and I'll do that next time I get on it tomorrow. Linkage preset. Linkage sound. Oh, okay. Image capture 1. Okay, so I'm going to hit apply on that because I imagine if you move off to another area, don't hit apply, you'll lose it. Oh, FTP setting. Yeah, let's see what that would be. Oh, okay. Put in the server address. It's going to have to be port 21. Well, they might let you do. No, it doesn't support SFTP or what it said. I much prefer that because, well, it won't hurt for this. But like when you're transferring files over the network, if you use FTP, it gives the files a new date of whatever, that time and date that you've transferred them. If you use SFTP, it keeps the original file date. And that it just ruins everything when you get when you're trying to keep track of your videos, for instance, and when you made them and all that stuff, or pretty much any file you want to know. You want it to stay with the date that it was created, not the day you transferred it. So, but yeah, now it should save a video. Then there should be a place where I can hit record a video right now. Oh, actually, now it should be recording videos. Ever since I did that. Yeah, because it's going to be seeing me moving around in here. Okay, because that's already preset. They said you couldn't even change that stuff. Alarm. Dog. Custom. Oh, it's sound. I get it. 10 seconds. Oh, it's an alarm like on the camera itself. Oh, trying to scare off somebody. A dog, huh? I don't think most criminals are scared off by dogs barking. You need something like you need the sound of a gunshot. What you need. That might get you shot though, huh? I mean, that would be a very good idea. They might shoot back, thinking they're shooting at them. Let's not do that. All right, so. Yeah, the world is not as fun as, what's that Christmas movie, the little kid who's getting to be an old man now. Home Alone. Several of them, 3 or 4 movies. The first one was really cute. Remember that? Okay, so, where am I? I don't understand how you tell, I can't tell which one I'm on. It says linkage set. It doesn't say audio alarm, schedule. Okay, alarm, say video. Okay, schedule. Well, I don't want to schedule. I just want it to go. I guess that's why they're all green. Okay, now advanced user, admin. I'll say that. I'll change that tomorrow. Auto snap. Snap interval. What's snap? 60 seconds. Save picture on SD card. Oh, snap. Picture snap. I just want video right now. I don't think I want FTP snap interval. Oh, you can go on the SD card and or both. Okay, that's cool. I like that. And then timer record. 600 seconds. Okay. Well, I thought it said that thing I read said it had to be 15 seconds. 600 seconds. How many minutes is that? Why do they have to use 600 seconds equals minutes? Well, I didn't put seconds. something on there. There we go. 600 seconds equals 10 minutes. Oh, okay. That's a long time. So, is that how long it's going to record? Every time there's an alarm, that's not what it said in the instructions. I'm going to leave that alone for now, but I probably want to put that, well, half of that would be 5 minutes, but I probably want to put it down to, I don't know. I haven't decided if I'd want, I don't think 30 seconds is enough. I think a minute to 3 minutes or something, 2 minutes maybe. I'll leave it alone right now. It's not all set. I'm ready to go anyway. Recording setting, auto snap, time recorder. That may be how long it records if you just like click the record button. That's what I'm thinking. I don't know for sure about that. Okay, email. Oh, there you go. You set up what email server you want to use and all that stuff. So if you're going to use like your ISP email, you'd have to put all that information in there like you would, like if you were setting up Thunderbird. Okay, but I'm not going to do that. I don't really want that. I used to look at my emails every 10 minutes. I look at them every 3 days now. It seems like, or even less. Got to where I just tired of going through it. Get too much junk. I've got too many email addresses and too much junk mail. Too much. It's not exactly junk mail. I do get a lot of crap, actual junk mail and spam and malware mail, but phishing email. But I get tired of having to delete those and all that crap. And then I let myself get signed up to too many newsletters, Used to enjoy them a lot, but now I just don't read as much as I used to. Let's see, that's the FTP. I guess that's just where you set up the FTP server. I guess that's just another way, because I went to that a while ago. I guess it's just another way to get to it. Yeah, not sure why. Well, I know playing the preview made the thing, the browser work too hard, but I had too much other stuff open, I guess, too, because I just thought I couldn't do this. I couldn't at that time. Okay, so terminal. Oh, really? Cruise Labs. Centered while self-check. Cruise Labs? Close the alarm PTZ. Now that, I don't know. This is not a PTZ camera. See, what's it stand for? Power, tilt, zoom? I don't know. I remember I saw it the other day and now I can't remember. Okay, so 485 set. What is that? Baud rate? That's like for a modem. That's a modem, baud rates for modems. Pelco D, Pelco P. 485 set, address 1, protocol, Pelco D. I do not know what that is for. All I do know is what baud rates and data bits and stop bit, you had to set all that crap. Back in the olden days, you had to manually set that in your older modems to make them work right. Or, actually, no, you didn't really have to do you could just set the baud rate and then this would be automatic. But if you were doing a serial terminal, you'd have to set all that right to get it to work right. Still do, I guess. Well, I don't know. I hardly ever use them. But restart timer. That would be a good thing to do. Just have it do it at a certain time. Let's see. 2 o'clock on Friday. I was going to say you do it every day. But maybe they think it doesn't need it but once a week. Restart the camera is what it's talking about, by the way, in case that didn't register there. Okay, now the last one is system. Okay, time. 2011, 14, 20. Yeah, that's, you can't change that though. I don't think you can. 12-hour time. That's what I want. I don't understand military time. I don't think in it. Windows, you can do time NIST.gov. You can do those. I guess you copy and paste them in there. Interval 1 hour, GMT, Beijing, Hong Kong. I'm going to do that right now. I'm thinking about it. Let's see. It said that was one of the things it said. Set this to your time. Central. Oh, that's not Central Time. Or is that Central Time America, or is that Central America? Canada. I think it is Central Time in America. For big sure. You got to watch out with these things. They don't all word them exactly the same. I think it's Central. Sometimes they won't say, they say America, they mean the continent of America. And it could be set North or South America. They don't mean USA. Most of them will say USA when they mean USA. But I think this one is saying Pacific time. Yeah, see US and Canada. Let's keep looking. Maybe I'm missing something here. Mountain time, US and Canada. Central time, there it is. Central time, U.S. and Canada. That was the wrong thing. Right above it, Central America is Central America. Okay. Automatically adjust clock for daylight saving time changes. Yeah, you'd want that, I guess. Yeah. I don't know. Why would you do that? If you're getting the time from the time server, it should just be right every time it checks it. I don't want that. Okay, time, initialize what? Oh, reboot, factory. Oh, there it is, factory default, backup setting data. I think I'll do that. I'll do that right now because the rest of that's just information and stuff. Restore, upgrade. Oh, okay. It's kind of like a router. admin. Config backup bin. All right, we'll have to rename that. IP camera. Give it some kind of name besides that. That just like same kind of thing as a router, so I don't want to mix it up with one of my routers. And try to flash that onto my router, or not flash. It doesn't flash it. I don't think it just writes it to the memory or whatever, the flash memory. It doesn't flash it like rewrite the whole thing. Just puts these in there, settings in there. Device ID, IP cam. Okay. I suppose you could change that somewhere to, like, if you had more than one of them, you'd need that to be different. There's the software version. Why does it have, PTC version BOO? I don't know about that. This thing doesn't zoom or do anything like that. What's it called? What's that anything about PTC? Maybe it's just the standard software. Maybe the 0 means it's not anything. It's not really there. Yeah, 0.126. 126. Oh, yeah, that is what it is. I thought it was 127. Subnet mask, primary DNS, secondary DNS. UPnP status, none able. I guess it's not turned on, I guess. Manufacturer's DNS status, none able. Third-party DNS status, none. Well, that's the, sending out the changes in the IP address thing. SD card status, there it is, right there. So it's good. It's a good card. I mean, it's working with the FAT32. Browse SD card. Format card as FAT32. I already did that. Unplug SD card. keep having to type in the password. There we go. Parent directory. Oh, there's a couple of files in there, looks like. Oh, that's a directory. This is not just videos. This is... Oh, that says record, doesn't it? Oh, yeah, you see how... 32, 31, 32, 32. These are these tiny little videos. 4 megabytes. Yeah, that really does suck. All these tiny little short videos. Let's see if we can just right click and open in VLC. Doesn't look like it. We'll go ahead and save that file. We'll save the last one. Oh, it's uploading it. I don't really want to do that. And the first one. I think that stops it. I'm not sure. To be honest. That's a DB file. Let's see. Parent directory. What's this? More videos. Oh, okay. Well, I guess I am moving around enough to make it keep recording, because I'm sitting here typing and looking back and forth. I'm going to put that in the index of SD. Oops, that's not the IP address. Let's just do that. Device information. Oh, I just went through all that. I wouldn't have thought that's where that would be. Format SD card. I can do that for you. Unplug SD card. Let's don't do that. Okay, logs. Updated the time. Log in. Switch color. I didn't do that. SIM CGI. Oh yeah, America's Chicago, so that's right, yeah. First I turn on daylight savings, then I turn it off. Okay, so video, monitor, zoom in, zoom out, submit. Submit to what? Call. I don't know what that is. I really want that thing right side up, but we'll do that next time. It really is a good picture, though. See, I thought that if it didn't turn out to be a good surveillance camera, I could just use it as my streaming camera. And that still is a possibility. I'm going to get off of that because, let's see, how come it's not? Oh, I see, admin. So I don't want to save that because you have to log in first before you can see any of that. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to close the browser now. Well, finally got to look through there. Let's see. Well, at least it's working good. Well, yeah, I haven't set up the Wi-Fi yet or any of that stuff, but we'll do that tomorrow. Still, I'll have to get all that set up and see if it even can work over the Wi-Fi. Now, see if it won't work over the Wi-Fi, I can use it as a streaming camera, but wired, you know, right here in my room. And I actually could. Well, if I don't have, well, I have my other router, the one I'm not using right now, that I can use it outside as a. I have to put on DDWRT or something to turn it into a wireless repeater, my TP-Link router, but you can do that to it with it. But I haven't done it yet, and I I decided that, I think the heat is just killing those routers, so I really don't want to leave it out there all the time. It's not hot now, it's cool weather, so I could put it out there. But, I'll end up forgetting. I think, and I didn't let them run all the time. So it's not just the heat, I have noticed when I was out there working, when it was hot, they really get hot, when it's 103, 105. I've been out there at 110. I had a fan. I have a big fan out there. And one time I had last time I was out there when it was 110, I actually had one of my desktops set up as my server, and I was making it hot in here, so I took it out there. Oh, it was making noise on the fan too, and I put it out there. And I was out there pretty much all summer with the fan blowing on it. And of course, it's a big old fan, just having to make. And sometimes it got turned off, and I had to go turn it on. I don't know why. See if that didn't work or what. Oh, I think it's because just a little bit too much going on the machine. Probably got 2 instances opened up now. But anyway, it ran fine with the fan blowing on it, but that's just too much to run all the time. A big fan, So it's all summer or all the year. Well, all summer, they're probably using some electricity, on top of the machine running. The machine's enough. Let's see. What I was trying to say is, what's it called? Well, I can't even remember the brand name of it now. I'll just give it some kind of name, and then I can rename it later. Oh, make directory. Well, I know it's something about IP cam. I'm trying to. Something I think looks good. There's no extension on those videos. Oh, it says 265. Well, yeah, you can't even say open with VLC because why isn't it giving an extension of? I think it's an MP4. Well, since my machine doesn't want to have so much stuff running, I want that to where I can, make sure everything's okay with my backup video. But I need to not, run too much stuff anyway. So, the OBS is generally staying around 20, 24, but whenever you do things like, you'll catch it going on up there pretty far. So, that's the other thing you got to keep in mind when you're streaming and working on the machine at the same time. Let me check my audio right quick. Okay, we're still working. Hey, the hiccups went away. I just realized. Thought I was gonna die there. Okay, I'm gonna open up VLC and try to play one of those videos, and then I'm more out. That's enough for tonight. Open up directory. That one, no, that one. New directory. Let's see if it can play those things. I was all thinking, oh, VLC plays anything, but we'll see. It's not playing yet. I might have to use 264 just because I don't got nothing there to play it. Because VLC doesn't care what the extension is. If it can play it, it'll play it. Well, I'll be darned. I could rename them and see, but I don't even use other players. Let's see. I think those are videos. That was just. I really don't use any other players. I see, that's the only, that one just came with it, and I left it on there. maybe others, but we'll see. See if this one can play it. Uh-oh. This one must use up resources. Mouse quit working. Come on. Why would just opening this up do that? Can't get out of it. Okay. Now it's back. I don't think it's going to try to open it. Oh, here we go. You don't see, it doesn't even see them. I'm going to try to rename them because maybe maybe that did throw it. I'm pretty sure VLC will play things with. I know it'll play them when they don't have an extension. Now I'm kind of wondering. Just gonna, I think those are. I think they're all 15 second. They're small files, so they must all be those 15-second or so videos, like it was saying. And that would, the only reason that would, I really don't like that, but it wouldn't bother me if I was streaming. What I'll do is catch that stream in OBS Studio and then record the stream, live, and stream it and record it to the machine like I would always do. And assuming I can do that with this, and not save, not have it save videos to the SD card, at least not automatically or anything, We'll see. But really, I was been kind of wanting to buy me. I don't want to spend a bunch of money on a camera, but kind of wanting to buy me, a camera with real zoom and everything, and you can buy, like I saw, I don't know if it'd be worth getting, but I saw a little Chinese camera with like 12 or 18 megapixels and a real zoom for $89, a little video camera, and that would probably be better than this, maybe. I really would like to have, I can't see the optical zoom. I'd like to have optical zoom. Because, like when I want to point the camera at the monitor, it needs to be behind me, and then have it in an optical zoom will be clear when you zoom in. A digital zoom will just get blurry. It might be okay if you did that with something that was, my little phones are only 2 megapixel. Maybe, I don't know if 5 megapixel would be enough to do that or not. But anyway, let's go back to use original extension, convert to lowercase, custom extension. I'm going to say it's supposed to be MP4. I may be wrong. Maybe it's supposed to be MKV or something. Why don't I look that up before I just do it? Well, no, let's just do it. I don't know. Let's see. Let's look it up because I really haven't paid any attention. Maybe I don't even really run across H.265 files. I don't know. I haven't paid any attention. Just whatever, I just mostly on YouTube. So let's see. There we go. There we go. HEVC is a video compression standard. Successor to, MPEG-4. Formats like MPEG. Huh, okay. don't know if I have a video codec. I don't have anything about video codecs in here. I have thousands of bookmarks that I never imported into here, because when I do it, I export them and I save them. When I do, it slows down the machine too much. They're in VLC. Here's VLC, so maybe I do need to change the file extension. Let's see. It says the default. KV and 4A. See, I was wondering if it might really be supposed to be named M. I can't remember what MKV is, but maybe I don't know. One of those. VLC, Apple, VLC for Linux. Okay, so I should be good. I should be good. I think those are video files like I thought. Let's just go ahead and rename them. I'm just going to say MP4. I don't think that would really matter. And then, wait, that's going to get rid of that altogether. I don't want to lose that. So let's do this. It's going to be kind of hard to do that. So, oh, here we go. 265. Okay, we'll change it to custom extension. And then we'll put, I just don't want to lose that. There we go. That way I will know in my own head that that was the original extension. All right, now then, see, now you can, now it shows, at least the Crusader now knows this is a video file, and I can say open with VLC like I always do. Well, they went through them already. Still can't play them. I wonder if those are actually video files. May not be. Those aren't video files, or there's something wrong there. Okay, let's go ahead and name them back like they were. I don't know what's going on. Oh, I didn't get them all selected. What are you doing? Oh, I'm getting too tired. I didn't click the multi-rename deal. Use original extension. So how are we going to do that? Let's see. 265. 265. There we go. And then we'll do find and replace dash 265. Place with nothing. Now it's back like it was originally. Okay, very good. This is a really handy tool. That's you can open multi-rename. You can just open it up, but it has a. Actually, I think you have to go and set up the icons to get it. Yeah, you have to manually put that. But it comes. It's comes with KDE. It's part of KDE desktop apps. KDE. Okay, so I don't know what the deal is there, and I'm tired now, so I don't care. definitely need to be able to play the videos that are saved there. Okay, so the 8080. What is that IP address? I just thought of something. I wonder if I could put it in OBS Studio. Okay, yeah, it was just this IP, and then 8080, port 8080, and nothing else after that. I think it'll play the video. I think. Video. Oh, okay. Network. WinVIF. Okay. Oh, that's where I saw 8080. I don't know if that'll work or not. That's not the same thing as a VLC stream. Peer to peer. Oh, that's that. Wireless. I really don't understand this. I'm brand new to the ONVIF thing. I just learned that it existed a couple months ago when I started researching these cameras. But server port, time zone settings. I don't know. We'll see. Did I already do that? Let's see. Let's try it. Yeah, it doesn't work in the browser. Oh, not implemented. Okay. Let's try it in VLC first, because if it works in VLC, then it'll work in OBS. And I'm afraid that sometimes when you start changing settings in OBS while you're recording, it jacks things up. Open a network stream. Nope, didn't work. Well, now let's see if, just by guessing there. Yeah, I wouldn't know. Keep on guessing, would never know. I don't know. Could be on the right track. See, like if I want to watch one of my cameras, do that, and see if that's the one I just tried. I wish it wouldn't save everything you try, because these are all wrong. But one of my cameras that does work, let's see, where is it? 141. Oh, and it dropped off the other one. 8080 video. See, just like that. And that is when I've got up streaming from OBS right now. The outside one is 194 or something, but I just realized I put enough in there now that it's dropping off the bottom ones. And all these others, I think every single one of these are all wrong. They don't work. But it might be, and see, there's one I tried to do an RTSP stream. Those are much harder to get right. Oh yeah, it did say stuff about RTSP, didn't it? Well, I could try it. Let's see. I'll try it once. If I think I don't know if I can. Like I said, I always forget how to do that. But if I was going to do RTSP, like I said, I don't think none of those will work. I'll do RTSP. Yeah, I was just trying stuff. Couldn't even remember if it had to have 2 forward slashes or not. And cam IP address. What is that? What about discovery? MTP, video capture, zero config, MDNS, universal plug and play, network stream, SAP. This takes so long though. Network stream, SAP. Universal UPnP. It is one thing that it did say something about, but I don't think that's turned on. Yeah, it wasn't turned on. MDNS, and I don't think I didn't see anything about zero config or SAP. But you can do universal plug and play. Now, I could probably turn that on, and it should have already came up. Maybe. But yeah, my cameras won't come up. My IP cameras that way. You have to put the address in there and put /video, and then they'll come up. And then you can watch these Icecast and Jamundo and stuff like that. Well, they have video and music and stuff. Not as many as there used to be. There used to be a bunch more in there. I'm just clicking on them now. If it doesn't take too long to finish discovering, then I don't mind waiting. But it takes forever. I don't want to do it. MTP devices, video capture. I forgot what MTP is. MDNS is, I'm pretty sure there ain't none of that in, ability in this camera. It will do UPnP, Universal Plug and Play. So if I turned that on, I might be able to just click there and it would come up in a list, and then you could click on it. Well, it would be a list of one, and then you could watch it in here. It might tell me that'd tell me what that address was. That wouldn't be the RTSP or HTTP address or anything. Let's see. And why you have to go up here to do the network stream, I don't know. $194, I think it is. I'm going to put it in there again. That should be the outside camera, if I remember right. Unless I got it wrong. Oh, it didn't work. What went wrong? So now I've got another wrong address in there. 194. I thought that was right. Now, did it drop off the one that did work? Sure did. And there's no way I've found to be able to clear this. That should have been right. 194. Huh. I must just be wrong about the IP address of the other one. Okay. I don't know what happens when I'm on the camera and then I do that. I might be really screwing things up. So I'm getting sidetracked again, but I'm tired now. I have to eat something and then I can go to bed. Yeah, it's 78.4 in here, but the air is cool enough coming in even that I'm chilly. It's really blowing. I can feel the breeze. And I've got the window cracked just like a 1/4 inch. And I can feel the breeze coming in. It must be windy out there. All right, so at least I figured some stuff out. Got it about halfway figured out, I guess. So tomorrow I will go at it again with this thing. I think obviously it will get good pictures outside, and well, I don't know how well the night. It has an automatic. That's one thing. See, you have to set up the. You see how lousy the day and night. I mean, this is terrible. Going through the window is a big problem. But even if you were outside, some wouldn't be very good, And I think the night vision on most of these real security cameras is a lot better than what you can get on a phone or on those phones that I have. Maybe on the newer, more, better, more advanced phones. I don't know because I've never had one. These are the only smart phones that I've ever had. They're not smartphones. They're computer phones. They're pocket computers. First, I thought I would use them more like that, but I can't see the screens. I don't like touch screens. I don't really care for the Android ecosystem. Some of the apps can do some cool stuff, but the thing I use them for is cameras. And that was that was just really the number one reason I bought them, because where can you get a half decent camera for $15? 3 years ago, that wasn't too bad of a camera. 3 or 4 years ago when I got them, I think it was 3 years ago. So anyway, I'm gonna go now. All right, been real. It's been fun. Can't say it's been real fun. No, it's been all right. I'm just tired now. All right, see you later.